Yo, what up, people? It's your boy, the Kryptonian, saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 321, and more plot twists are coming. And gotta start with this one right here. What the hell is Smoker's message, man? Like, I'm really interested to know what's going on, and the fact that they're headed so close to the Navy headquarters. I believe that Aokiji called it Water 7. Very interesting. I don't know what Oda has planned, but the fact that even Usopp is worrying, asking, are people that powerful really going to be coming after them, really leads me to believe that it's very possible that Luffy is going to, if not fight admirals, which if he ends up fighting the admirals, there's no way in hell he does not get captured and executed, or killed on the spot, or taken and executed later on. But this is what's interesting. If he doesn't fight them, he's got to be fighting vice admirals or somebody. The fact that Oda allowed Luffy to fight and at some point get some pretty decent shots on Aokiji lets you know that Luffy is becoming wickedly strong as this progresses on, this story progresses. We're 321 chapters in, and now we're getting to the meat. Like, I'm getting excited like I was when I was reading Naruto and the pain arc was going on. And it's just it's like you knew something was coming. You didn't know exactly what, but you knew something big was coming because Jiraiya had just gotten killed. Like, you knew it was working towards something big. And I'm getting the same feeling now. I feel like Oda is getting ready to drop a huge bombshell somewhere. And I like how Nico Robin is being teased to, like I've been saying, some type of Itachi vibe that I've been getting, where there's more to her character, and now you see it. So this is very interesting just to see where Oda's planning on taking this, man. Like, I would be very disappointed if more admirals show up later on in the story. I'd really like to see something now. Like, if we're at 320 now, and let's say the next arc is 50 chapters long, right? Or 100 chapters. That means that now we're getting into 4 something. Like, I would like to see something before, at least before chapter 430. Something with more admirals, you know, a glimpse into the Navy life. We saw a little bit of it with Kobe's cover story, so I just like to see a little more with that. Now, getting into the real, what I feel is the real heart of this chapter, it really shows you that the last arc, this in-between arc with the Fox Pirates, definitely served its point, because if this would have happened before, I really feel like Sanji and Zoro would have stuck there and watched. They wouldn't have left. They would have watched the fight, you know. And the reason why I say that is that last arc was about building trust, in particular building trust among the Straw Hats, as well as instilling more trust in Luffy and further cementing his status as captain. Nobody questioned it at that point, but there are various parts through the last few arcs we did see scenes where you had little small stuff, like when Nami and Luffy were flying up to challenge Enel, where Nami was openly questioning Luffy in very subtle ways. And you can just trace it even further back. Every arc from really the point where they enter the Grand Line, there's been something subtle where somebody's in some kind of way challenged Luffy indirectly. And it hasn't been anything big, nothing to really cause a fuss over. But that's why I feel like Oda needed this last arc in order to make this happen, because the payoff is so good. When you see Luffy and Aokiji, and Luffy's got like part of his body frozen, he's still going through swinging, he's got the gum storm, and Aokiji's flying up in the air, like it's so telling, because Sanji and Zoro, they take off running without a second thought. And when Usopp gets mad at him and says, "Cowards, you cowards," Sanji says, "No, these are captain's orders. We had to do it. These are captain's orders. We trust Luffy." And knowing that Luffy at this point, it's the same thing with Crocodile. He sent them on, and yet when that happened, if you'll remember, there was a scene where even Zoro was a little worried. So, I mean, just little small stuff. Like, that's, I mean, like little small stuff. Whereas with this, they went back, but they gave Luffy an opportunity to fight, and they let some time pass. So I like that, and it makes it a huge payoff, because even Aokiji says, "I agreed to settle this in a one-on-one fight. Damn it, I can't go after your crew." And he even debates killing Luffy right then and there. And he does what they did in Battle of Gods, right? Dragon Ball Battle of Gods, where Beerus looked like he was actually going to blow up the earth, and he ends up blowing up a rock instead. And so it's that classic trolling, because what happens is Aokiji smashes the rock right next to him. And so that was cool. That was cool to see that. And I like how Aokiji warns Luffy. And you know Luffy can hear it, because even though he's in a near-death state, the fact that his heart's still beating, you can bet your bottom dollar that he can hear him, okay? And Aokiji tells him, Nico Robin is going to be more trouble than she's worth, and you're going to regret bringing her on board. And those are very strong words for any writer to put in any type of source material. So for that to happen, and for the panel placement, and for it to happen right after this, where Sanji and Zoro, they've basically gotten parts of their body frozen. They've had to go through, I would say, extremes, jumping into the ocean in order to warm up part of their body. And you got Chopper freaking out trying to save Nico Robin. Little small stuff like that. The trouble they're going through in order to bring her back, and then they got to do the same thing for Luffy. It's very telling. And that shot where Nico Robin is looking up into the moonlight lets you know something's going on with her character. Something's going on. So I can't wait to see where that's going. Gotta say that my favorite part of this whole chapter, though, is when it opens up and you see Chopper and Usopp is just being annoying. Usopp is saying, you're the doctor, you gotta save her, you can't fall apart, you can't fall apart, you gotta do something. He's just going on and on and on. And I totally understand it, okay? Totally understand the fact that you're worried and you're worked up, but I've been in Chopper's position where I'm helping somebody and I've been in a time crunch, if you will. And because of the crunch of time and the intense pressure, I've had to literally tell some people before, just back the fuck up, leave me alone, and let me do what I do. I'll fix everything. I'm gonna go at my pace, but leave me alone, because I don't think people realize when you're in situations like that where they're already really, really tense, you do more harm than good when you constantly nag like that. So at a certain point, and it's really hard because we're all human, we all have those moments where it just comes out. And so when you're the one that there's a lot of pressure placed on, it's more important for anything else for you to keep your cool. And I like how Chopper basically had to verbally string Usopp's neck. And that's why I'm going to kind of leave this off. My chapter question for you all is going to be twofold. The first part is, has there ever been a time where you yourself have been in Chopper's position, where you've been in a very stressful position, and you've had to find a way to balance the stress that other people are placing on you in order to succeed at something you couldn't fail at? And then my second question for you guys is going to be, what were your thoughts about Aokiji's warning that Nico Robin would be more trouble than she's worth? But as always, guys, if you're liking anything I had to say, hit that like button, as it really helps out the channel. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Please comment down below. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a